Hi, I'm Pam and I'm here to talk about retro video games. Today I'm talking about a game that's a bit obscure and a bit odd. It's City Connection. City Connection was developed by Jaleco in 1985. It was originally an arcade game, but got ported to the NES in North America in 1988, which is the version I'm reviewing. This is one of those games where, if you don't read the manual first, it's not entirely clear what's going on. In my first go, without knowing anything about it, I quickly figured out that I could pick up cans and shoot them at cop cars. The road was also changing colors as I drove over it, though I wasn't really sure why. After a minute, a pig with a flag showed up, and based on what I had been doing so far, I thought I should hit it, but that made me lose a life. According to the game manual, what's actually going on is that you've broken into an exclusive paint store in New York City, and are now leaking paint all over, which is why the roads are turning white as you drive over them. There are multiple levels of roads that you can jump or fall to. And the pig? Apparently that's a cat, and you need to avoid it. I'm not sure that the makers of this game have ever seen a cat before. The goal is to cover every single tile of road while avoiding the cops in order to move on to the next city, where your paint spree will continue. There are a total of 6 cities to visit: New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt, New Delhi, and Tokyo. There's no real ending to the game. When I finished the Tokyo level, it took me back to New York City, though the configuration of the roads had changed a bit. It seems this is more of a pure arcade score-chasing game, though there's no high score screen, which seems like a bit of an oversight. The gameplay is very simple. You just drive. You can make quick 180-degree turns to avoid things, or jump to a higher level by hitting up plus A. You can speed up or slow down your car, but can never stop. The police cars which litter each level go slower than you, but also often fall from higher levels onto your car. You can get them out of the way by shooting the oil cans you pick up with B, and while they're spinning out, you can ram them to send them off the road. If you hit them when they're not spinning, or if they hit you, you lose a life, but you can gain extras every 25,000 points. The pig cats can't be hit, and you need to avoid those by turning around or jumping over them. The manual also mentions spikes that will start appearing on the road if you stay on one level for too long, but I never saw them. If an obstacle appears in front of you, you can turn around until it scrolls off screen, and it'll be gone if you turn back again. This is a strategy that got used a lot. Occasionally, you'll see balloons, and if you collect 3 of these, you'll get warped randomly to another location. City Connection does start to get rather repetitive, and like most NES ports of arcade games, this one doesn't look nearly as nice as the original. Besides the arcade version just generally looking more colorful and detailed with better animations, there are some other differences between the versions. In the original Japanese arcade, you played a blue-haired anime girl named Clarice. Depending on where you look, she's either traveling the world just to say she did it, or is looking for the perfect man. I'm not sure why either draws police attention. In the NES version, she's been replaced by a smug-looking blonde dude who obviously has a penchant for paint. The arcade version also has 12 stages rather than 6, and allows you to visit more places like Australia, Egypt, and Easter Island. It also has different music for each stage, while the NES only has 3 different tracks, none of which are very good. The arcade version also has a much better idea of what a cat looks like. City Connection on NES starts wearing out its welcome rather quickly. The music gets repetitive, and the levels, even though the backgrounds are different, all play pretty much the same. Obstacles seem to come out of nowhere at times, especially those darn pig cats. You need to be fairly active with the controls, making frequent turns and jumping between levels in order to stay alive. The only real change as you progress is the configuration of the roads, which become more difficult to travel between. I do question the draw of this trip across the world. All these cities seem to have to offer is excessive numbers of police and poorly thought out roads. If they defunded police and diverted some of that budget to things like infrastructure, a better time would be had by all. City Connection is an interesting game because it's unlike most others I've played, but it didn't keep my attention for long. I can't expect too much, given that it was originally a 1985 arcade game, but the experience of playing it on NES at home is a little lacking. The arcade version was ported to PS4 and Switch fairly recently, but unless you can get it for really cheap, I wouldn't particularly recommend it. If you want to see another NES port of an arcade game, check out my review of Breakthrough, or another of my videos. I have a Patreon if you want to support what I'm doing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.